Is a Metalcloak long arm kit more difficult to install on an Eco-Diesel Wrangler? Yes, but also no. We'll tell you why. A couple of the main things is the exhaust. It's so overly complex, it's probably more environmentally friendly than old SpaceX's rockets they keep sending up.
The SpaceX Starship exploding overnight during its latest test flight, scattering debris and disrupting air traffic across Florida.
We've been waiting to do this vehicle for a while now. We ordered the parts a while ago when they were on sale for Black Friday, and the guy made it up here from Nevada. So this Jeep lives down in a nice warm desert area, so of course it's going to need a lot more of an articulating suspension to go rock crawling since he's so close to all the fun stuff. So this is going to be the first time we've put a long arm system into an Eco-Diesel. We don't even see Eco-Diesels that much anymore because they were only made for like 2.5 years. This one is going to get the whole treatment. It's getting Metalcloak blacks, 3.5-inch long arm, and then he'll continue his build when he gets back home. It already had the wheels and tires and some other things done to it before it got here. We're just making sure the suspension can tackle whatever he wants to throw at it and continue his build. And I'm going to leave the rest for Mikey.
All right, let's start cutting.
Let's start cutting.
Okay, so I've completed all the grinding on the frame that needed to be done. Cut off all the hangers that are in the way for the new long arm hangers for the Metalcloak kit. I'm currently starting to install this front one. With this front one comes with these flag nuts. like this, and a couple other ones. They can be a little difficult to install, so there are some little tricks to get them in. And don't forget, there are holes to get your hands into to try to get your both hands in to get that flag nut to stay where you need it to stay. This one here, which is this style, when you put it into the frame, it tends to be hard to get where you need to put it. I cheat and use a little pair of locking pliers on the end. See if I can get my hands to do what I want. And that allows me to have leverage to turn to get the bolts in. A lot of people have been having issues and struggling with this. This is just a little trick to make it a little bit easier. Okay, let's move forward and get this done. Okay, that makes sense. So these.
Let the beat ride.
So on the rear, since we've done the front one with the big flag nuts, we're going to move to the rear ones. I've already got one installed. So this one I've partially installed. Just be aware that the tank usually sits here, so the tank has to get removed so that this hardware can get put in, as well as the exhaust to get this hardware put in. And this is an Eco-Diesel, so the tank's on this side. If it was a gas, tank would be on that side. It still needs to come out just so that you can get this stuff in and cut off your hangers, as well as the exhaust. Depending on how it sits in here, you might be able to get it in, but a lot of times you have to remove it or loosen it off so you can move it over out of the way. So at this point, I'm just starting to put in these flag nuts. Since I've got all the other ones installed, these actually come in from the rearmost part here, and then they slide all the way down to this point here and this point on the side. Let's see if we can get them in. Side one. All right, and that finishes the rear hanger. The rear hanger is got a lot of pieces to it, but it goes in really nice and it looks great. I think what we're gonna do next, we'll probably put in the arms for this. That way I can button up the back end, put the shocks in, get all the bits and pieces done, and then the back will be finished and complete. And then I can start putting the exhaust back where it needs to go, and then I'll jump back on the front end. Okay, so I was at the point of putting in the diesel tank, but I've realized now that I have to take this cross member out and replace it. But to do that, I have to remove this cross member as well, which the diesel tank bolts to. So I kind of stopped there because I just realized that. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna remove the cross members, put in a new cross member. Then I can go back and reinstall the tank. Remember that this is a diesel tank, not a gas tank. Gas fuel tanks are on the passenger side, the diesel tanks are on the right. They also bolt in a little bit differently as well, so it's something to be aware of. But then, yeah, we'll put this all back together, get this all back in, get this replaced, and then I'll finish doing the front end after that's all done. There's a couple little things that are different on this as well that needs to happen. I need to cut out a little notch. You have to do that on the gas ones as well, but I wasn't sure if we were gonna have to do it on the diesel tanks. Turns out you have to do the same thing. So you gotta cut a little notch to make room for the new hanger. So that, we'll see what happens in a couple minutes. It is recommended that the tank be empty before you do any of this. This is a diesel tank, so I'm not overly concerned about it. It takes a lot more to ignite a diesel than it does gasoline. Fumes in gasoline will go, diesel will just kind of go, I'm all right.
Our main thing is we have to go up and the lines have to
so
avoid that.
we gotta get over this,
Okay.
so it's in between.
Yeah.
And we gotta try to get this
Yeah.
around this.
Okay.
And around that.
You have the step. You want me to have the step?
No.
Okay.
We're good. I just want to make sure we don't hang up.
It's always a good idea when you do a lift kit to put the gas tank back in. It also helps the vehicle leave. I gotta come over your way a bit. You can come to me if you want.
Yeah, it's gotta go a little.
You're out of the way of the drive shaft now, so. Do you want any of this stuff to get hooked up?
Yeah, I gotta do that now.
Okay, I would recommend doing that. You have like some stuff at the back, some stuff at the front.
Yeah, I gotta do
Don't
that.
put the rags in the tank,
No?
unless you think it'll work like a filter.
Well, it'll suck it up and not work.
Yeah. These shocks are pretty, Mike.
Well, you know, that's how I do, you know.
That is one thick black shock. Look at all that gold.
I love gold.
I dig it. He is going to love going to Moab with this.
Okay, so in the instructions it does mention.
Hi guys. Yes, I do know, and I know you know, that the upper long arm here is backwards, or upside down, or changed. But don't you worry, we have already remedied this by the time you saw this video, and it was a Monday, so you gotta cut us a little bit of slack and not go ape shit in the comments. Now, back to the scheduled program.
That you may need to notch out this little piece here as well. We weren't sure if that was going to be needed or not, so I have tried to put the tank up into place, realized I can't quite get it all the way over to the driver's side because this is on the driver's side. So what I've had to do is I've had to just notch this out a little bit. Now I'm just going to go up now, just see if it's going to sit in the place where I want it to, and if it does, we're good. If not, then I may need to take a little more out of here. It's just a little thing that you might want to just be aware of when you're doing this. What I've noticed here even though I've notched it to allow it to pass by, it is still currently touching the tank, or touching the skid plate of the tank. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut the little bit that's left on the bolt to allow for the extra space that I need between the tank and the hanger and the bolt. Yeah, it's good now. Got lots of them now. Lots, like quarter inch.
Testing. Is this thing on? Should I talk like this in the video? Okay, so it was an interesting week, but we made it through it. The customer's on his way here to pick up the vehicle. This is the first time we've put a long arm system into an Eco-Diesel Wrangler. And there was definitely a little bit of growing pains. Turns out gas tanks on the other side of the vehicle, as we noticed. There is a lot of fancy breakable exhaust parts down the passenger side. That just gets in the way of all the cutting, slicing, grinding, and painting you gotta do before you even put the suspension in the car. But regardless, Mike's a wizard. He got it all done. It's good to rock and roll. He's got lots of clean articulation. We figured we'd flex out inside. It's a little windy outside and chilly right now, so we did it in here. We'll make sure to get you all that nice, gorgeous B-roll, but his suspension is done. Now, what he's planning on doing next, I don't know. Definitely could use a re-gear, some bigger tires. If it was me, I would probably source out a Rubicon sway bar disconnect and get it in here so you didn't have to manually disconnect your sway bar links. He's gonna head down to Washington, play around a bit before he heads back to Nevada, and he'll continue his build when he gets back there. Until next time, like, subscribe, throw a comment down below. What issues have you found trying to lift your Eco-Diesel Wrangler? What problems did you come into? If you have any questions that we can help you answer, by all means, ask. See you next time.
I used the strap after I got it out, so it wouldn't get knocked off.
Yeah, I never use a strap on.